What's up, guys? So, welcome to YNAB. We're actually going to set up the budget now. We're actually starting to do some work now. Isn't that cool? So, this is my YNAB. You can see all the budgets that I have. And I actually deleted my 2016 budget some time ago in I don't know why I did it, but I did it, so I don't have it anymore. A little bit sad, but not really, because it's not 2016 anymore. So yeah, we're going to make this budget here. And remember a couple videos back, we got these categories all set up. So basically, there's not much thinking that we're going to have to do. It's just going to be a lot of paperwork, basically. One of the most sought after professions in the universe, paperwork. And, I'm looking at this now, and I feel like this can even be simplified a little bit further. Like, nutrients can be health related, because there's other things other than nutrients that I buy. Some of this stuff can be subscriptions. Right? That's that one. That takes care of that one, and that one, and that one. Rental car, that could be other, that rarely happens. Not important, car related, and health insurance. I guess that's big enough that can be, that's a subscription. That's a subscription. Cool. Really simple. Guys, there's only 7, 8, or 9, how many? 4, 7, 10 categories in total here, but it's really not going to be that bad. So this budget is for YouTube. Currency dollar, number format. Yep. And that's how I like it. Starting off completely fresh. Okay, so this is what we get with YNAB right out the bat. They give us some pre-existing categories: immediate obligations, true expenses, debt payments, quality of life things. We're just going to go ahead and delete all these. Okay. And create a new category group. Call it important, necessary, and important. And create a new category group called everything else. All right, that's it. And let's see here. In the necessary and important categories, we got groceries. Press this button instead. Groceries. I have rent. I have health. Put them in the right order. I can combine this insurance with this insurance. And just call it insurance. And I guess it's going to be in the necessary and important category for now, whatever. Because one is necessary and important, the other one's not important. But this is one category, right? So you realize in these 3 boxes are everything else. Okay, so everything else. Well, everything else is what else? We got subscriptions, dining out, and CC interest. That one's going to be gone soon, and so is this car related one. Car related. That's going to be gone at some point. But we are going to be able to hide stuff later on. So that's okay. I'm just going to leave it there for now. Because I want to see. I want to see how much I spend on my car. I want to keep it there. And the CC interest, when that goes away, I'm also going to be able to hide that. So now I'm going to add accounts. All right. And I'm not going to do it with the recording going because I'm just going to have to black out a bunch of stuff. So I'm just literally going to go and add every single account. All right. Everything that's in this tracking realm, I'm just going to go and add them. All right. So I will be right back.
A few moments later.
unpausing here real quick because I'm about to add this credit card with a balance on there, and it's asking me whether I want to create a goal to pay off my balance, budget for my entire balance, or skip it for now. I'm going to skip it for now. But if you want, you can create a goal to pay off your balance over time, which is going to allow you to pay more. Well, it's going to ask you to pay more than the minimum payment, basically. Budget for my entire balance. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have enough funds to do that, so I'm going to skip it. Real quick note, realize that YNAB doesn't link with Venmo anymore for some reason. So that's going to be manual. It does link with PayPal though, so that's too bad. I think it's funny that Chase calls their credit card the Chase Freedom, because you spend on the Chase Freedom card and you overspend, then you're basically chasing freedom. And then they have a card called the Chase Freedom Unlimited. It's hilarious. How long have you been chasing freedom? Oh, for what feels like an unlimited amount of time. I don't know if I'll ever get there, though. Okay, that's it. I think that's it. We're done. So this number right here should basically match the number that we have on our balance sheet. Well, not exactly, because it's been a month. Well, not a month, but this was done at the 23rd of May. It's now the 4th of June. So it's not going to be exactly the same, but it's pretty close. Like I paid rent and I paid some other expenses since then. So I could update this as well, and it should match exactly what it says right there. What's nice about this, now having this all in one place, is that when I update my balance sheet, all I got to do is copy the numbers over from here to there. So it's super easy. Last time I had to log into every single one of my bank accounts, answer security questions every time. Now all I got to do is copy the number from there to there. Except for the brokerage account. I don't know what that balance is, but I know that it's 0 in my head, but let's just leave that as a question mark for now, or blank, right? Because I don't know. I don't know what it is. And it matches exactly. So something annoying happens if I copy from there. So here's what I'm going to do. Format paint that way. Hide this. And now when I do that, it's not going to have that annoying. Yep, now it works. All right, cool. So it's become really easy to update the balance sheet now. Super easy. YNAB will kind of track it, but I like personally having my own tracking of this. And when we get into creating our income statements and cash flow statements, it's going to be nice to have them all kind of in the same place. So, okay, we're going to go back to our budget here. And you can see that all the credit cards have been added as categories because YNAB handles credit cards really well. When you spend something on a credit card, it actually gets added to the credit card as like a credit for that account. The money actually leaves your system as a expense, right? Because you want it to be an expense. You don't want it to be not an expense. Even though it's not really coming from you, it is coming from you in the future. So YNAB has a really good method for that. It's designed to help you to get your spending under control. So it forces you to because a lot of people who will start budgeting and use YNAB, they're gonna be coming from the mindset of a credit card is unlimited money and I don't have to pay it. Like I can buy something for $1,000 and only pay $50 every month. So that mindset has to be changed, has to be rewired to I spent $1,000 last weekend and it really cost me $1,000. Right, so that's kind of the purpose behind it. No, I don't have any categories here yet, or transactions rather, but one thing that's kind of cool with this is that if you go into the account, right, for example, and you can see that there's a starting balance of $42.07. I can change the date of this to be June 1st because the first of the month is always a really cool time to start budgeting, because it gives you a full month, and I can just go like that. And it pulls all the transactions from the first of the month. The only problem is that, though, I have to change this number later on, because like the balance right today is actually 4207. So I got to change this number now to reflect what the starting balance was on June 1st. So in order to do that, we will take out our handy dandy calculator, 4207.31, do some math, take the balance 3381.1, 8286.21, and what are we going to do? I think we're going to add this number to the balance. It's been a while since I took math, you guys. Plus this. And now we have 4207.31 as our actual balance. So, great. We can actually start categorizing now. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, you guys. This is the moment we've been waiting for. So, start with this one. This is a payment to a credit card, Amex e-payment. This American Express card is the only card that I have with a balance on it. So it is going to be a payment to this card. And it's kind of interesting because it isn't showing up there. And I'm guessing because it might have happened last month. I might have posted to this account in the last month, so it didn't really have that there, so a little bit annoying. So it's not perfect if you're starting anywhere, it's not exactly perfect, but it is what it is. So this is a transfer to Amex. All right. And when the transfer happens, we're going to see a linked account, a payment that happens. So this just appeared, right? And this has a linked transaction with the account and with the transaction in the staging account. So that's what we want. That's how it's supposed to work. But then this balance, we're not sure if this balance is like what it is actually right now or what it was. So what I'm going to do is for each of these accounts, I'm going to change the dates to the first of the month. See if there's anything to import since then, right? I know Venmo doesn't have anything. Well, for cash, it doesn't matter because I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of cash transactions since then. For this one, there should be nothing. For all this, there should be nothing, but, just making sure. Visa. And then after I've categorized all the transactions, I'm going to use the reconciliation feature and just make whatever adjustment that's necessary. This one should have some transactions. Yeah, health share, right? Health share. And the category for that is insurance. So we did our first categorization right there. See how easy that was? And what I'm going to be doing is just coming into this maybe every week or so. I do it a lot more often. I'm in the habit of like opening this up every day, typing in app.ynab.com and then going in and categorizing stuff. But I want to get in the habit of doing that less, actually. So it's kind of nice that I'm making this, because making this is in a way going to force me to do it less, because if I do it every day, then I'm going to have to record every day. I don't really want to record every day. It'll take up way too much time. So it's yeah. Thank you. Thank you for helping me doing this less. So 828 Irving, that was a groceries. All right, ECS tuning, that was for my car. And basically, you know, what categorization is a mini version of the financial mirror every time you categorize something. Isn't that awesome? But it doesn't take nearly as long as the financial mirror did. You know, it takes a couple of seconds, really. Venmo. All right, so this is a one that I know I got to change because this is my rent payment. I get paid it to my landlord. And of course, it's for June rent, right? So I can add that in the memo. The memo is not really used for anything other than just notes for your own taking. But I'm going to use that category. Okay, so here we have a good example, right? This is a reimbursement. This is the source for that transaction, okay? And that came into my staging account right there. So I need to be able to deal with that, right? And that was one of the requirements that I had for this thing, to, you know, handle reimbursable expenses. Now, I did look online, looked at the YNAB forums a little bit for this, and there was a method that I liked, and we're going to try it out. So the method was to create a budget account. And it's an unlinked account, and it's a cash account, and it's a reimbursable expenses. And the account balance for that at the beginning of the month, because I just got paid for it, was $0. Or let's say that it's negative 544 point. Oh, I can't have a negative. Oh, I can have a negative. That's just a warning. Okay. So now we have this reimbursable. At the end of the month of May, this account had $544.17 in it, meaning that I had incurred this amount of expenses on behalf of my employer. So at the end of the month, I submit my expense report, and I get a check for this amount. Here is that check. It came in right there. This is going to be a transfer from reimbursable expenses. So as we can see, the reimbursable expenses went to $0, and I still have the inflow in my staging account, as it should be. And now this resets, right? So I have another work expense right here. I'm going to call this a transfer to reimbursable expenses. And now my reimbursable expenses balance is, well, it tried to be kind of smart, right? It tried to be kind of smart because this one is not a reimbursable expenses. This is it's an everything else other. So we're going to create a new category and everything else, call it other. Okay, I bought a little gift for my coworkers. So that's, we'll consider that an other in everything else. That's a personal expense, but this is a reimbursable expense. So this expense comes into here, and now my reimbursable account has the positive balance on it. So then later on, when I get reimbursed for June, same thing is going to happen. An outflow is going to come from here into that. And I think that method works pretty good for reimbursable expenses. That guy figured it out pretty good. He figured that out better than the YNABs people did, I think. They have a whole section in the help dedicated to reimbursable expenses. But I like this solution a lot better. So we're going to go with that. All right, so now the last thing I'm going to do here as part of the setup, we're pretty much all set up, ready to go, right? But this balance of this account does not actually match what it is right now. And the reason for that was because this payment that happened here on June 1st, my suspicion is that it posted to this account on the last day of May. So I guess one thing that we could do is just change this to the 31st of May. To the 30th of May. See if there's any things to import. It might get a little bit messy. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm just going to change it back to the 1st of June and do a reconciliation, because it doesn't really matter that much. But there's the link transaction, the auto pay. Oh, okay, and there's my paycheck. It came in, right? So the paycheck is an inflow to be budgeted. And yeah, that's about it. What the heck? It says it's coming in tomorrow. It's weird, but it already came in. Okay, it showed up, right? So there it is. Cool. And what else is happening here? What was I saying? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, this. The balance is not, okay, now it's really screwed up royally, because the balance is not minus 1897. So let's go to our balance sheet, because I just wrote it down what it is. The balance of this card is 2504.75. I'm going to hit this button right here. Say no. Continue. I'm just going to create the adjustment and finish. Okay, and show all. We're going to say that this is the starting balance. Inflow to be budgeted, and there we go. All right, and now our balance on this account is 2504.75, as it should be. Okay, and everything else lines up. Well, except for that, because an inflow just happened. So cool. All right. See, net flow only changed a little bit from last week. Let's check the other ones too. Oh yeah, well these are all going to be the same, because I had nothing changed with that, except for this one. This one did change. And that one's the same. That one's good. That one's good. So that's about it. So we've set up our budgeting system now. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. And for now, at least for the month of June, I'm not going to actually budget, as crazy as that sounds. I'm just going to let the activity show me how much I've spent. This is going to be a real-time financial mirror once again. And at the end of the month, I'm going to look and see, okay, how much did I spend? And then I'm going to know how much I spent, how much I brought in, and from that I'm going to be able to make my income statement for the month of June. And that's going to be the first income statement that we're going to make. It's going to be pretty fun. All right. So that's it, you guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you next time. Peace.